Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let us chant one round of Japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. So, is it Gaur Purnima in ISKCON Philly today, or is it tomorrow?
It's today, Mataji.
It's today. Okay. For us, it is tomorrow. So, should I just continue with our daily Srimad because it's just you? So, you tell me. I'll do as you say. I can either read about the birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Bhagavat. That will take the whole class. We'll just read about the birth, and maybe immediately after that, the activities of the Lord right after birth. That's one option. And the other option is we'll just continue with our daily Bhagavatam reading and Bhagavad Gita shloka. What would you prefer?
I think pastime of Lord Chaitanya
Lord Chaitanya.
is,
Okay.
yeah.
It's relevant. Yes, let's
Thank
do
you,
that.
Mataji.
Then. Sure. So today is the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most merciful incarnation, avatar of the Lord. He is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But before, this is actually chapter 2. I won't read the entire chapter 1, but before we begin reading about the pastimes, we should read Glorification of the Lord. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has dedicated one full chapter to the glorification. At least a little bit we will read. And then there is actually the entire Chaitanya Bhagavat given in sutra form, so that we won't read today. That we won't read, but just the glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So until this 84 verses we will read, and then we will start with the birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and this is chapter 1 of Adi Khanda. आजानुलम्बित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ. I offer my respectful obeisances to the two fathers of the Sankirtan movement, whose long arms reach to their knees, who are splendid like gold, whose large eyes are lotus flowers, who are the maintainers of the worlds, the best of the Brahmanas, and the protectors of the Yuga Dharma, the religion of the age, who bring happiness to the people of the world, and who have come to this place because they are very merciful. नमस्त्रिकाल सत्याय जगन्नाथ सुताय च सबृत्याय सपुत्राय सकलत्राय ते नमः. O Lord, who exists eternally in the three phases of time, O son of Jagannath Mishra, O Lord accompanied by your servants, sons and wives, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. अवतीर्णौ सकारुण्यौ परिच्छन्नौ सदीश्वरौ श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानन्दौ द्वौ भ्रातरौ भजे. In Murari Gupta's Kadacha it is said, I worship the two brothers, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, the two masters of the spiritual world, who, concealing their true identities, have mercifully descended to this world. सजयति विशुद्ध विक्रमः कनकाभः कमलायते क्षणः अरजानुविलम्बि षड्भुजौ बहुधा भक्तिरसाभिनर्तकः. Glory to the Supreme Lord, who is all powerful and pure, who is splendid like gold, whose eyes are blossoming lotus flowers, whose six arms reach to his knees, and who, flooded by the nectar of devotional service, dances in many ways. Jayati Jayati Devah Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtistasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityastasya Vishveshvamurter Jayati Jayati Nityam Tasya Sarva Priyanam. Glory, glory to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna Chaitanya Chandra. Glory, glory to his eternal pure fame. Glory, glory to the servant of him, the master of the worlds. Glory, glory to the dancing of his dear devotees. I'll read that again. Glory, glory to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna Chaitanya Chandra. Glory, glory to his eternal pure fame. Glory, glory to the servant of him, the master of the worlds. Glory, glory to the dancing of his dear devotees. So this is Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur saying, first I offer Dandavat obeisances to the dear devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Then I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He incarnated the town of Navadvip and he is named Vishwambar. In the Vedas and Puranas, the Lord has firmly declared, worship of my devotees is better than worship of me. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11:19-21, the Lord Himself declares, Mad Bhakta Puja Bhyadika Sarva Bhuteshu Manmatihi. Worshipping my devotees is better than worshipping me directly. That is my opinion. Therefore, I will begin by offering respectful obeisances to the devotees. That act will bring success to my efforts. I offer respectful obeisances to my worshipable deity Lord Nityananda Rai, by whose mercy the glory of Lord Chaitanya is manifest in this world. With 1,000 mouths, I offer respectful obeisances to Lord Balaram, whose 1,000 mouths are the home of Lord Krishna's glories. As a great jewel is kept in a favorite place, so the jewel of Lord Krishna's glories is kept in the jewelry case of Lord Ananta's mouth. A person that offers prayers to Lord Balaram will find the glories of Lord Chaitanya appear in his mouth. A person that offers prayers to Lord Balaram will find the glories of Lord Chaitanya appear in his mouth. Lord Balaram is thousand-headed Lord Ananta. There may be many masters in this world, but he is independent of all of them. Lord Balaram Mahaprabhu is very tall. He is a great saint intoxicated by hearing the glories of Lord Chaitanya Chandra. He is a great saint intoxicated by hearing the glories of Lord Chaitanya Chandra. In his form of Nityananda, he enjoys pastimes with Lord Chaitanya eternally. No one is more dear to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya becomes a friend and a help to one who hears or sings Lord Nityananda's glories. Shiva and Parvati find great bliss in Lord Nityananda. On their tongues are pure and eloquent words glorifying Lord Nityananda. Accompanied by Goddess Parvati and 900 million goddesses, Shiva worships Lord Sankarshan. This is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto. All Vaishnavas offer obeisances to Lord Balaram and praise him with songs. Words describing Lord Balaram's rasa dance pastimes are supremely glorious. He enjoyed many pastimes with the gopis in Vrindavan. During Madhava and Madhu, the 2 months of springtime, Lord Balaram enjoyed the rasa dance pastime. This is described in the Puranas. Please hear these words. Sri Sukadev spoke to Maharaj Parikshit. Please hear these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 65, text 17, 18, and 21-22. Dvaumasau tatra chavatsin madhum madhavam evacha ramah kshapasu bhagavan gopi namratimavahan. In order to keep the gopis in Vrindavan satisfied, Lord Balaram stayed there continuously for 2 months, namely the months of Chaitra, March-April, and Vaishakha, April-May. For those 2 months, he kept himself among the gopis and he passed every night with them in the forest of Vrindavan in order to satisfy their desire for conjugal love. Thus, Balaram also enjoyed the rasa dance with the gopis during those 2 months. Purnachandra kalamrishte kaumudi gandhavayuna yamunopavane reme sevite stri ganairvritaha. Since the season was springtime, the breeze on the bank of the Yamuna was blowing very mildly, carrying the aroma of different flowers, especially of the flower known as Kaumudi. Moonlight filled the sky and spread everywhere, and thus the banks of the Yamuna appeared to be very bright and pleasing, and Lord Balaram enjoyed the company of the gopis there. Upagiyamano gandharvair vanita shobhimandale reme karenu yuthesho Mahendra iva Varanaha. As the Gandharvas sang his glories, Lord Balaram enjoyed with gopis in the same way Indra's elephant Airavata enjoys with many she elephants. Ne durudundubhayo vyomni bavrishuhu kusumairmuda Gandharva munayo ramam tadviryair idire tada. Then Dundubi drums sounded in the sky. The Gandharvas joyfully showered flowers, and the sages praised Lord Balaram and his heroic deeds. Although they rebuke ordinary souls for associating with women, the sages praise Lord Balaram's rasa dance with the gopis, fully aware that Balaram and Krishna are not different persons. The demigods showered flowers on Lord Balaram's rasa dance. Although they are hidden from the four Vedas, Lord Balaram's pastimes are openly described in the Puranas. What more need I say? Some fools may say, I do not I do not see that in the Puranas. There is no evidence that Lord Balaram ever enjoyed a rasa dance. To them I reply, the two brothers Krishna and Balaram did certainly enjoy a rasa dance with the gopis in Vrindavan forest. This is described in the following words of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 34, text 20 to 23. Kadachit atha govindo ramashchadbhuta vijahratuर्वने ratriam madhya gauraja. After this incident, on a very pleasant night, both Krishna and his elder brother Balaram, who are inconceivably powerful, went into the forest of Vrindavan. They were accompanied by the damsels of Rajabhumi, and they began to enjoy each other's company. Upagiyamanav lalitam स्त्रीजनैर्बद्धसौहृदैः स्वलङ्कृतानुलिप्ताङ्गौ स्रग्विनौ विरजोम्बरौ. The young damsels of Raja were very nicely dressed and anointed with pulp of sandalwood and decorated with flowers. Nishamukam manayantav uditodupatarakam mallika gandhamattali jushtam kumudavayuna. The moon was shining in the sky, surrounded by glittering stars, and the breeze was blowing, bearing the aroma of mallika flowers, and the bumblebees were mad after the aroma. Jagatuh sarvabhutanam manahshravanamangalam tau kalpayantau yugapat swaramandala murchitam. Taking advantage of the pleasing atmosphere, both Krishna and Balaram began to sing very melodiously. Anyone who has no love for Lord Balaram, so you may be wondering that today is Gaur Purnima, why are we reading about Lord Balaram? The point is, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur begins his Chaitanya Bhagavat by saying that the Lord is most pleased when one worships his devotee. He is more pleased when one worships his devotee than when one worships him directly. And amongst devotees, Lord Balaram, he is the Supreme Lord himself in the form of a devotee. So, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur said that the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are like jewels, and these jewels are safely kept in the jewel case, jewel box. What is that? That is the mouth of Anantasesh, or the mouth of Lord Balaram. Anyone who offers prayers to Lord Balaram, from his mouth, the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come. So that is why before we read about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first we read the glories of Lord Balaram. We offer our obeisances to Lord Balaram because he is the keeper. He is the keeper. He is the treasure house of the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By his mercy only do we have access to the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is why the author himself is here glorifying Lord Balaram. So we are just following in his footsteps. We are also reading about the glories of Lord Balaram. So anyone who has no love for Lord Balaram, even after hearing these words of Srimad Bhagavatam, does not walk on the path of the Vaishnavas, the path that leads to Lord Vishnu. Anyone who does not honor Srimad Bhagavatam is a Yavana. Birth after birth, he is punished by Lord Yama. Nowadays, some eunuchs may dance around and say, "In what scripture is Balaram's rasa dance?" To them I reply, who is so sinful that he will not honor the scriptures? A sinner will find another meaning in the scripture's clear words. Lord Balaram is very dear to Lord Chaitanya, Chandra. By offering him, by offending him, one destroys his own future. In all his incarnations, the Supreme Lord manifests in two forms, one as master and the other as servant. As a servant, the Lord appears as his own friend, brother, bed, fan, invitation, house, parasol, garments, ornaments, and sitting place. So these are all expansions of Lord Balaram. Manifesting himself in all these forms, the Lord serves himself. One who has received the Lord's mercy can understand all this. This is described in the following words of Sri Ananta Samhita. Nivasashayyasanapadu padana varshatapavaranaदिभिः शरीरभेदैस्तव शेषतां गतैर् यथोचितं शेष इतीर्यते जनैः. O Lord, to serve you, Ananta assumes many shapes to become your residence, bed, throne, sandals, garments, pillow, umbrella, parasol, and many other objects. In this way, the people know him as your Sesha, paraphernalia. Powerful Garuda, who delights in carrying Lord Krishna in his pastimes, is an Amsha incarnation of Lord Ananta. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar, Vyasdev, Sukadev Goswami, and Narada are all pure devotees, eternal servants of the Lord. Lord Sri Ananta is worshipped by all the uncontaminated devotees mentioned above. He has thousands of hoods and is the reservoir of all devotional service. Lord Ananta is the original person and the great mystic controller. At the same time, he is a servant of God, a Vaishnava. Since there is no end to his glories, no one can understand him fully. I have already spoken to you of his service to the Lord. Now hear how the self-sufficient Anantadev exists in the lower planetary system of Patala. Bearing his stringed instrument, the tumburu, on his shoulders, the great sage Narad Muni always glorifies Lord Ananta. Narad Muni has composed many transcendental verses in praise of the Lord. Lord Ananta is described in the following verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 25th chapter, texts 9 to 13. उत्पत्तिस्थितिलयहेतवोऽस्य कल्पा सत्त्वाद्य प्रकृतिगुणा यदीक्ष यासन् यद्रूपं ध्रुवम् अकृतं यदेकमात्मन् नानाधात् कथम् उह वेद तस्य वर्त्मा. By his glance, the Supreme Personality of Godhead enables the modes of material nature to act as the causes of universal creation, maintenance, and destruction. Okay? By his glance, the Lord enables the material nature to act as the cause of universal creation, maintenance, and destruction. The Supreme Soul is unlimited and beginningless. And although he is one, he has manifested himself in many forms. How can human society understand the ways of the Supreme? Murtim nah puru kripaya babhara sattvam samshuddham sadasad idam vibhati tatra yallilam mrigapatir आददेन वद्यम् आदातुं स्वजनमनां स्युदारवीर्यः. Anyway, I can't figure out the exact meter, but something. The manifestation of subtle and gross matter exists within the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The manifestation of gross and subtle matter exists within the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Out of causeless mercy toward his devotees, he exhibits various forms which are all transcendental. The Supreme Lord is most liberal and he possesses all mystic powers. To conquer the minds of his devotees and give pleasure to their hearts, he appears in different incarnations and manifests many pastimes. यन्नामश्रुतम् अनुकीर्तयेदकस्मात् आर्तो वा यदि पतितः प्रलम्भनाद्वा हन्त्यं हसपदि नृणाम् अशेषमन्यं कं शेषाद् भगवत आश्रयेन् मुमुक्षुः. Even if he be distressed or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. Even if he chants the Lord's name jokingly or by chance, he and anyone who hears him are freed from all sins. Therefore, how can anyone seeking disentanglement from the material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Sesha? Of whom else should one take shelter? मूर्धन्यर्पितम् अणुवत्सहस्रमूर्ध्नो भूगोलं सगिरिसरित्समुद्रसत्त्वम् आनन्त्यादनिमितविक्रमस्य भूम्ना को वीर्याण्यधिगणयेत् सहस्रजिह्वः. Because the Lord is unlimited, no one can estimate his power. This entire universe, filled with its many great mountains, rivers, oceans, trees, and living entities, is resting just like an atom on one of his many thousands of hoods. Is there anyone, even with thousands of tongues, who can describe his glories? So we are hearing the glories of Lord Ananta, who is an expansion of Lord Balaram. एवं प्रभावो भगवानन्तो दुरन्तवीर्योरुगुणानुभाव मूले रसाया स्थित आत्मतन्त्रो यो लीलयाक्ष्मां स्थितये बिभर्ति. There is no end to the great and glorious qualities of that powerful Lord Anantadev. Indeed, his prowess is unlimited. Though he is self-sufficient, he himself is the support of everything. He resides beneath the lower planetary systems and easily sustains the entire universe. Simply due to the glance of Lord Ananta, the three material modes of nature interact and produce creation, maintenance, and annihilation. These modes of nature appear again and again. The Lord is glorified as one without a second and as the supreme truth who has no beginning. Therefore, he is called Anantadev, unlimited. Who can understand him? His form is completely spiritual and he manifests it only by his mercy. All the activities in this material world are conducted only in his form. He is very powerful and always prepared to please his personal associates and devotees. If we simply try to engage in the congregational chanting of the glories of Lord Anantadev, the dirty things in our hearts, accumulated during many births, will immediately be washed away. Therefore, a Vaishnava never loses an opportunity to glorify Anantadev. I'll read that again. If we simply try to engage in the congregational chanting of the glories of Lord Anantadev, the dirty things in our hearts, accumulated during many births, will immediately be washed away. Therefore, a Vaishnav never loses an opportunity to glorify Anantadev. Lord Anantadev is known as Sesha, the unlimited end, because he ends our passage through this material world. Simply by chanting his glories, everyone is liberated. On his head, Anantadev sustains the entire universe with its millions of planets containing enormous oceans and mountains. He is so large and powerful that this universe rests on one of his many thousands of hoods, rests on only one of his hoods, just like a drop of water. He does not know where it is. While bearing the universe on one of his hoods, Anantadev chants the glories of Krishna with each of his thousands of mouths. Although he has been chanting the glories of Lord Krishna since time immemorial, he has not come to their end. To this very day, Lord Ananta continues to chant the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and still he finds no end to them. In this way, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are described. When they see this, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, the Siddhas, and the great sages become filled with bliss. Although again and again he tries to reach the farther shore of the ocean, that is Lord Krishna's glories. So the ocean is Lord Krishna's glories. And Lord Ananta is again and again trying to reach the other end, the shore. That means he's trying to cover the topics. Although he's trying, Lord Ananta can never reach it. He can never complete describing the Lord's glories. This is also described in those words of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Text 41. Nantam vidamyahami munayo grajaste maya balasya purushasya kuto varaye gayan gunan dashashatanana adi deva sheshodhunapi samavasyati nasya param. Neither I nor all the sages born before you know fully the omnipotent personality of Godhead. Who's speaking? Lord Brahma, speaking to Narad Muni. Neither I nor all the sages born before you. Who are the sages born before Narad Muni? So, the four Kumaras, right? And also the Prajapatis. Neither I nor all the sages born before you know fully the omnipotent personality of Godhead. So, what can others who are born after us know about him? Even the first incarnation of the Lord, namely Sesha, has not been able to reach the limit of such knowledge, although he is describing the qualities of the Lord with 10,100 faces. To sustain all the material worlds, very powerful Lord Ananta stays in the Rasatala planets. In Brahma's royal assembly, Narad Muni plays his Veena Tumburu and sings songs describing these qualities of the Supreme Lord. Brahma and his associates become overwhelmed with emotion when they hear the glories of the Supreme Lord. The demigods all worship Narada because he sings these songs. Thus, I have told a little something of Lord Ananta's glories. Therefore, please place your love in Lord Nityananda, who is Lord Ananta himself. Anyone who desires to cross to the farther shore of the ocean of birth and death and then dive into the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda Chandra. Before the feet of the Vaishnavas, I place my heart's desire. May I worship Lord Balaram, birth after birth. As Dvija, Vipra, and Brahmana are different names for the same kind of person, so the names Nityananda, Ananta, and Baladev all refer to the same Supreme Person. Lord Nityananda appeared in my heart and cheerfully ordered me to write a book of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Lord Sesha's tongue is the resting place of Lord Chaitanya's glories. It is only by Lord Sesha's mercy that Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are revealed to us. Yes, they are revealed. We can read, but they will be only revealed by the mercy of Lord Sesha or Lord Nityananda. For this reason, Lord Anantasesh has a glorious form. For this reason, I have sung some few of the glories of his lotus feet. The heart is purified by hearing Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, which are revealed to us only by the devotee's mercy. Please know this for certain. Who can understand Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, which are hidden even from the Vedas? I have written in this book the pastimes I have heard from the devotees. So now we'll begin with the actual pastimes of the birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Uh, the
You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I was saying that all this, the rest of the chapter is the it's the summary or in small sutras the entire Chaitanya Bhagavat. So what topics will be covered in Adi Kanda, Madhya Kanda, and Shesha Kanda? So they are just given in sequence. I'm not going to go over that today. If I read all that, then all our time will be gone. So we want to read about the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu today because it is Gaur Purnima. So we'll read this chapter 2. And then, if time permits, we can read further after the birth. That's also very, very sweet after the appearance of the Lord. So, chapter 2, Sri Gaura Chandra Janma Varnana, description of Lord Chaitanya's birth. Glory, glory to Lord Gaur Sundar Mahaprabhu. Glory to the great Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Jagannath Mishra. Glory to He who is the life and soul of Nityananda and Gadadhar. Glory, glory to He who is the shelter of Advaita and the devotees. Glory, glory to Lord Gauranga and his personal associates. He attains devotional service who hears these topics of Lord Chaitanya. Again, I bow down before the feet of the Lord and his devotees. In this way, I hope that Lord Chaitanya's descent to this world may appear on my tongue. Glory, glory to Lord Gaurachandra, who is an ocean of mercy. Glory, glory to Lord Nityananda, who is devotional service personified. They are two brothers and they are devotees of the Lord. Still, their real identities are unknown. Only by their mercy is the truth about them revealed. Lord Krishna mercifully appeared before Brahma and other great devotees. This is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Vedas, and all the scriptures. So Krishna mercifully appeared before Brahma and other devotees. This is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 4, text 22, it is said, प्रचोदिता येन पुरा सरस्वती वितन्वताजस्य सतीं स्मृतिं हृदि स्वलक्षणा प्रादुरभूत् किलास्यतः स मे ऋषीणां ऋषभः प्रसीदताम्. May the Lord, who is the beginning of the creation, amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma. May the Lord, who in the beginning of creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. When in ancient times he was born from the Lord's lotus navel, Brahma did not have the power to see anything. However, when Brahma completely surrendered to him, the Supreme Lord mercifully appeared before him. Only by Lord Krishna's mercy was Brahma able to understand the Supreme Lord, the origin of all incarnations. Only by Lord Krishna's mercy was Brahma able to understand the Supreme Lord, the origin of all incarnations. Lord Krishna Chandra's descent to this material world is very difficult to understand. Without first attaining the Lord's mercy, who has the power to understand it? So you understand the theme here? We are trying to understand the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, even Brahma, the most exalted person in this universe, he could not understand. Forget about understanding the Supreme Lord. He could not even see this creation, nothing. He didn't understand anything. When did he understand? When the Lord revealed it to him. When did the Lord reveal it to him? When he did devotional service. When he performed devotional service, the Lord was pleased with him and the Lord revealed it. When the Lord revealed, then he could see the creation, or he understood who he was, what he was supposed to do, and he also understood about the Supreme Lord. When the Lord revealed it to him. Otherwise, it is not possible. So, so that is the case. For even for Lord Brahma, then what to speak of any of us. So that's the point. Lord Krishna Chandra's descent, now talking about Krishna's descent to this material world, is very difficult to understand without first attaining the Lord's mercy. Who has the power to understand it? Lord Krishna's descent to the material world and his pastimes are inconceivable and unapproachable. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 14th chapter text 21, Brahma declared, O vetti bhuman bhagavan paratman योगेश्वरोतिर्भवतस्त्रिलोक्यां क्व वा कथं वा कति वा कदेति विस्तारयन् क्रीडसि योगमायाम्. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing your pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of these activities. We are surrounded by the Lord. At every moment, the Lord is performing pastimes, but we cannot see. Nobody can see, nobody can understand unless the Lord reveals himself to the devotee. Otherwise, it's not possible. So Lord Brahma is saying, no one can understand the mystery of these activities. Who has the power to know the reason why Lord Krishna Chandra descends to this world? Still, the reason for the Lord's descent is given in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 7 and 8, Lord Krishna declares, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise in irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. In order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. When religious practice declines, then day by day, irreligion becomes stronger and stronger. When this occurs, Brahma and the demigods approach the Supreme Lord and pray that the devotees be protected and the demons vanquished. At that time, in order to firmly establish the Yuga Dharma, religion of the age, the Supreme Lord accompanied by his expansions and associates, descends to the earth. The religion of Kali Yuga is Hari Sankirtan, chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna. To firmly establish this religion, the Lord descended as the son of Sachi. Srimad Bhagavatam describes the best of all truths, the truth that in order to establish the Sankirtan movement, the Lord descended as Lord Chaitanya. So now, first question is, so in order to understand the Lord's descent, the question is, what was the reason, what was the cause for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance? So the cause is, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya. There is dharmasya glani, there is a decrease of dharma, and abhyuttanam adharmasya, and an increase of adharma. At that time, the devotees like Lord Brahma and all the demigods go and pray to the Lord in helplessness. Then the Lord descends with all his associates. Why? यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. धर्म पवित्र परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतं dharma samsthapanarthaya, to establish the religious principles, right? To establish the religious principles. Sambhavami yuge yuge. So that's why the Lord comes along with his energies to establish the dharma of that yuga. So what is the dharma of this Kali Yuga? Hari Sankirtan. To establish Hari Sankirtan, the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends to this earth. Where is this said? This is said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam describes the best of all truths. The truth that in order to establish the Sankirtan movement, the Lord descended as Lord Chaitanya. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter, text 31-32, it is said, Iti dvapara urgisha stuvanti jagadishwaram nana tantra vidhanena kalavapi tatha shrinu. In the age of Kali, as well as in Dwapar Yuga, the people offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by various mantras and observe the regulative principles of the supplementary Vedic literatures. Now please hear of this from me. So in the age of Kali and in Dwapar Yuga, people offer prayers to the Supreme Lord by various mantras and observe regulative principles of supplementary Vedic literatures. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayir Yajantihi Sumedhasaha. In this age of Kali, those who are intelligent perform the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appears in this age, always describing the glories of Krishna. That incarnation is yellowish in hue and is always associated with his plenary expansions, such as Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and personal expansions such as Gadadhar, as well as devotees and associates such as Swarup Damodar. Okay, so in Dwapar and Kali Yuga, people observe regulative principles of supplementary Vedic literatures. But the Lord himself appears in Kali Yuga, and those who are actually intelligent, they will take to Sankirtan. And the Lord appears in what way? He himself comes and is performing Sankirtan. His complexion is golden, yellowish, and he comes with his associates, right? Like his plenary expansions, personal expansions, devotees, and associates. Lord Chaitanya Narayan has revealed that in Kali Yuga, Hari Sankirtan is the best of all religious activities. So the Lord appears to establish dharma, religious principles. The dharma of the age is Hari Sankirtan. So it is said previously people were observing other types of rituals and regulations. But the Lord appeared to say, to preach, to teach that the best of all religious activities is this Hari Sankirtan. Nothing else is going to work in Kali Yuga. Lord Chaitanya Narayan has revealed that in Kali Yuga, Hari Sankirtan is the best of all religious activities. Therefore, accompanied by all his personal associates. The Supreme Lord descended to this world in the Kali Yuga to establish the Sankirtan movement. Following his order, the Lord's personal associates also took birth in the world of human beings. So, whenever the Lord comes, he comes with his Parshadas, his personal associates. So, they also come and they take birth in the world of human beings. Ananta, Shiva, Brahma, and the great sages took birth as the Supreme Lord's personal associates. They all took birth as great devotees of the Lord. Lord Krishna was well aware of their true identities. Some took birth in Navadvip, some in Chatigram, some in Radhadesh, some in Orissa, some in Srihatta, and some in the West. So this is before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. All these great personalities took birth in different parts. Some in Navadvip, but in others in other places also. Although they descended to the earth in these different places, these devotees assembled in Navadvip. They all came and they all moved to Navadvip. They assembled in Navadvip. Although many of these Vaishnavas took birth in Navadvip, some of the Vaishnavas most dear to the Lord were born in other places. Srivas Pandit, Sriram Pandit, and Sri Chandrasekhar Dev, who are worshipped in the three worlds, and the physician named Murari Gupta, who cures the disease of repeated birth and death, descended to this world in Srihatta. The great Vaishnavas, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Chaitanya Vallabha, and Vasudev Datta, appeared in Chatigram. Haridas descended to this world in Udhana. In Radhadesh is a village named Ekachakra. In that village, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Nityananda, descended to this world. Although he is the father of everyone, Lord Nityananda pretended that his father was a devotee named Hadai Pandit, who was the king of the pure Brahmanas. Thus, Lord Nityananda Ram, who is an ocean of mercy, the giver of devotion, and the shelter of the devotees, descended to this world in Radhadesh. At that moment, the demigods secretly showered flowers and secretly called out, Jai, Jai. From that day on, the country of Radhadesh grew more and more prosperous and auspicious. From that day on, the country of Radhadesh grew more and more prosperous and auspicious from the day of Nityananda Prabhu's appearance. So we are reading about the different associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who took birth before Mahaprabhu in different parts of the world. Paramananda Puri, who associated with the Lord in the pastimes at Jagannath Puri. Paramananda Puri, who associated with the Lord in the pastimes at Jagannath Puri, appeared in Trihut. The places by the Ganga shores are all pure and sacred, right? So the villages which are on the banks of Ganga are pure. Just this morning we were reading in Chaitanya Bhagavat, in the Antya Khanda we were reading, well, for you last night, we were reading that four items are very, very crucial, very, very powerful in bhakti. One is Tulsi Devi, one is Ganga Devi, then Vaishnavas, the Lord's devotees, and the Lord's remnants, either his prasad garlands or his prasadam food or anything which is worn by the Lord or which is enjoyed by the Lord, the remnants. These are extremely powerful to our bhakti. This is said in the Antya Khanda. Towards the end of Chaitanya Bhagavat it is said. Right? So one of them is Ganga Devi. The glories of Ganga Devi are such that anyone who resides, like I think like 100 meters within the vicinity of Ganga Devi, they're all purified. Whatever activity, devotional activity you do a little bit, it is magnified hundreds of thousands of times. Like that. So, all these great devotees of the Lord would appear, you would assume that they will take birth on the banks of Ganga, right? So, the places by the Ganga shores are all pure and sacred. Why then did these Vaishnavas take birth in impious, lamentable places? Right? Why would Vaishnavas take birth in lamentable places? Lord Chaitanya himself descended to this world by the Ganga shore. Why then did his personal associates take birth in other distant places? The Pandavas never went to any place where the Ganga or the holy names of Lord Hari were absent. Because he loves all living entities as a father loves his children, the Supreme Lord ordered these great devotees to take birth in these different places. It is the Lord who ordered them to take birth in these different distant places away from Ganga. Why? Because he loves everyone. To deliver the residents of the material world, Lord Chaitanya descended to the world of matter, thinking them equal to holy places. These great Vaishnavas took birth in lamentable, impious countries. Right? Why? Because the Lord's mercy is such. Why did Srila Prabhupada go to America and Europe and Africa at such a ripe age? He could have stayed. Everyone, all sadhus at that age, they all go to Vrindavan to give up their body, isn't it? After 70, who would think of crossing the ocean and going to lamentable, impious places where there is no chanting of the holy names, where there is no Ganga? Why would anyone go there? Same mood. It's the same mood. Because they are seeing the heart of the Lord. The Lord's heart is filled, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart is filled with compassion for everyone. Everyone is his part and parcel. He wants to see everyone take to Krishna consciousness. So those who have so much love for the Lord, they consider these impious, lamentable places to be as good as holy places on the banks of river Ganga. And they go there. They go there. We will see why. I mean, we have already seen in the case of Srila Prabhupada. He went there like a touchstone that touches iron and turns iron into gold. He went to these lamentable places and turned everyone to Krishna consciousness, to pure devotional service. So, in the same mood, all these associates of the Lord, thinking them means these places to be equal to holy places, these great Vaishnavas took birth in lamentable, impious countries and lamentable, impious families. In this way, they delivered everyone. You can imagine if a Vaishnava takes birth in a family, in a country, all those people will be delivered, right? In whatever country, and whatever family they descended to this world with their great power. Power means their love for Krishna. With their great power, these Vaishnavas delivered everyone in an area of 800,000 miles. Think about it. One pure devotee takes birth in one place. Every person within the area of 800,000, 8 lakh miles, 800,000 miles, everyone becomes delivered by his power. Therefore, Mahaprabhu sent his associates to take birth in distant places. Wherever his associates took birth, not that immediate family, but everyone in the area of 800,000 miles was delivered. That's why they were going. Again and again in Srimad Bhagavatam we will read. Also, we read in the third canto, right, when Vidura and Uddhava were meeting. There it is said that saintly persons travel this earth, they go to different places. Why? To remind everyone, to awaken everyone to Krishna consciousness. Simply by their traveling, they're converting the people's hearts to Krishna consciousness. They're transforming their hearts to Krishna consciousness. So that's why we are so indebted to these Vaishnavas. So in whatever country, whatever family, they descended to this world with their great power, these Vaishnavas delivered everyone in an area of 800,000 miles. Any place where the Vaishnavas manifest their glories becomes very pure and sacred and a place of pilgrimage. That is why Srila Prabhupada, every one of our ISKCON center is as good as Vaikunta, is Golok Vrindavan. Because any place where the Vaishnavas manifest their glories, Srila Prabhupada personally went in these temples, right? So any place where Vaishnavas manifest their glories, that place becomes very pure and sacred and a place of pilgrimage. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Narayan arranged that his devotees descend to the material world in all these different places. Although they descended to this world in many different places, these great devotees assembled in Navadvip. They assembled in Navadvip, for that is where the Lord descended to this world. No city in the world is like Navadvip, for that is where Lord Chaitanya descended to this world. Aware that the Lord would appear there, the demigod Brahma filled Navadvip with all that is auspicious before the Lord's appearance. Brahmaji knew that the Lord is going to come, so he filled the city of Navadvip with all that is auspicious. Who can describe the opulences of Navadvip? On even one of its ghats, ghat, right? River Ganga has ghats, many ghats are there. But on even one of its ghats, hundreds and thousands come to bathe in the Ganga. By Goddess Saraswati's grace, many hundreds of thousands of learned scholars in all three ages of life. That means whether they are young, middle age, or old. In all three ages of life, you will find scholars, learned scholars, they come to the ghats. By Goddess Saraswati's grace, many hundreds of thousands of learned scholars in all three ages of life stayed in Navadvip. All the scholars there were arrogant. Even boys would aggressively debate their learned elders. That means they were puffed up, not devotees, but very, very highly learned. And learned not in computer science, they were learned in the Vedas, right? And they would debate. People from different provinces would come to Navadvip. There they would develop a taste for learning. No one could count how many students or how many thousands and millions of teachers stayed there. It's hard to imagine. There were millions of teachers, and each teacher would have so many students. So this was a place of learning. People from all over the world were coming to Navadvip. No one could even count how many students or how many thousands and millions of teachers stayed there. Favored by Goddess Lakshmi's glance, everyone was happy. Still, interested only in the taste of material things, they wasted their lives. No one was interested in devotional service to Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. From the beginning of Kali Yuga, this disinterest had grown more and more. Right? More importance is given to material things, material goals. Nobody was interested in devotional service to Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. This is a symptom of Kali Yuga. From the very beginning of Kali Yuga, this disinterest had grown more and more. The only religion the people knew was keeping an all-night vigil and singing songs to Goddess Mangala Chandi Durga. They would stay up all night and sing songs of Goddess Durga. Some proudly worshipped the snake goddess Manasa. Others offered great wealth to the deities of demigods and demigoddesses, spending for the weddings of their sons and daughters. They lost great wealth. We see that today also, don't we? Well, this is an advanced stage of Kali Yuga. So they spend a lot of money in the weddings of their sons and daughters. In this way, they wasted their time in this world. Even the Bhattacharyas, Chakravartis, and Mishras did not know the true meaning of the scriptures. So they are all Brahmanas, Bhattacharyas, Chakravartis, Mishras. These are all teachers, but they didn't know the true meaning of the scriptures. Although they taught the scriptures, they were materialistic. Yama's noose already rested around the necks of both them and their students. No one would discuss Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, which is the true Yuga Dharma, religion of the age. If they could not mock the faults of others, no one was interested to speak. No one wanted to praise others. The holy names of Lord Hari could not be found in the mouths of persons proud to be renounced and austere. They are proud of their own renunciation, right? And their austerities. But you would never hear the holy names of Lord Hari come from their mouths. The most deeply pious person, the most deeply pious persons would perhaps say the name Govinda or Pundarikaksha as they bathed. So when they go underwater in the Ganga, the most pious person may say Govinda and go down. That's it. No more. Other than that, you will never hear the names of the Lord. Descriptions of devotional service did not appear on tongues explaining Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. They were teachers of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, but they would never talk about bhakti. Seeing the whole world bewildered by Lord Vishnu's Maya potency, the devotees felt a suffering that had no end, because devotees are paradukha dukhi. They are very, very satisfied with their devotional service, but their only suffering is to see the suffering of others. So the devotees felt a suffering that had no end, seeing that people are just lost in material advancement, material life. They have no taste for bhakti. They said, the devotees are speaking, how will these souls be delivered? They are all trapped in the spell of Maya's happiness. They do not chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. Their discussion of material knowledge never ends. The true devotees of the Lord perform their devotional duties. They worship Lord Krishna, bathed in the Ganga, and discuss topics of Lord Krishna. They would come together and they would discuss topics of Krishna amongst themselves. The devotees would meet and bless everyone in the world. They would pray, O Lord Krishna Chandra, please quickly give your mercy to everyone. The leader of the Navadvip Vaishnavas was named Advaita Acharya. He was the most glorious person in the world. He was the best teacher of jnana, knowledge, bhakti, devotional service, and vairagya, renunciation. So he was the best teacher of jnana, bhakti, and vairagya. His explanations of Krishna bhakti were like those spoken by Lord Shiva himself. When discussing any passage in any one of the many scriptures in the three worlds, he always interpreted every verse to mean devotion to Lord Krishna's feet is the best of all spiritual paths. Right? Any verse in any scripture within the three worlds, he would always interpret the meaning of that verse as devotion to Lord Krishna's feet is the best of all spiritual paths. Offering Tulasi Manjaris and Ganga water, again and again, he happily worshipped Lord Krishna. Pushed by love for Lord Krishna, he would loudly chant Lord Krishna's names. The names he called broke through the boundaries of the material world and entered the world of Vaikuntha. Hearing this loving call, Lord Krishna, who is conquered by devotion, personally appeared. Advaita was the first of the Vaishnavas. He was the most glorious follower of Bhakti Yoga in the entire world. In this way, Advaita stayed in Navadvip. Seeing that the people had no devotion to the Lord, he became very unhappy. So he's worshipping the Lord and he's staying in Navadvip. But when he saw that the people had no devotion, he became very unhappy. Everyone was mad after the taste of material happiness. No one was eager to worship and serve Lord Krishna. Some worshipped goddess Vashuli, Durga, with many offerings. Others worshipped the yakshas with offerings of flesh and wine. Again and again they danced, sang, and played musical instruments, making a great noise. Still, they would not hear the supremely auspicious name of Lord Krishna. The demigods are not pleased by worship not directed to Lord Krishna. Seeing that the people would not worship Lord Krishna, Advaita became very unhappy at heart. Advaita was naturally very merciful at heart. In his heart, He tried to plan how to deliver the people. He thought, if my Lord descends to this world, then everyone will be delivered. If I can make Lord Krishna, the beloved of Vaikuntha, visible in this world, then I will become glorious and I will be known as Advaita Simha, Advaita the lion. When I personally bring the Lord of Vaikuntha to this world, and by doing that, deliver every soul, I will sing and dance. Again and again, thinking in this way, with great determination, he served Lord Krishna's feet. Again and again, Lord Chaitanya declared, it is because of Advaita that Chaitanya descended to this world. Srivas Pandit, at whose home Lord Chaitanya enjoyed many pastimes, resided in Navadvip. The four brothers, Srivas, Sriram, Sripati, Srinidhi, always chanted Lord Krishna's holy names. 3 times daily, they bathed in the Ganga and worshipped Lord Krishna. By the Supreme Lord's order, many liberated souls took birth in this world, and their true identities concealed resided in the district of Nadia. These devotees were Sri Chandrasekhar, Jagadish, Gopinath, Shriman, Murari, Sri Garuda, and Gangadas. I have mentioned the names only of some of the great souls I personally knew. If I described all of the Lord's associates, this book would become very large. All these great souls were noble and generous. They were attentive to their proper duties. They did not know anything but devotional service to Lord Krishna. They thought of each other as friends. They did not know that they were liberated souls who had descended from the spiritual world. So their knowledge is also covered by the Lord's Yoga Maya. Otherwise, the pastime won't take place, right? So they didn't know that they were liberated souls coming down from the spiritual world. They just thought of each other as friends. When they saw that there was no devotion to Lord Vishnu in the entire world, their hearts burned with grief. They did not hear anyone discuss topics of Lord Krishna. Therefore, amongst themselves, they glorified Lord Krishna. They would meet in Advaita's home and talk about Krishna for an hour or two. In this way, all their sufferings would go away. Seeing everyone burning in the flames of materialism, the devotees could not speak, they could only weep. Meeting with Advaita, the devotees tried to make the people understand all this, but the people could not understand. Filled with grief, Advaita began to fast. The Vaishnavas breathed with long and heavy sighs. Why dance for Krishna? Why chant his names? What is this Sankirtan the Vaishnavas talk about? So, this is what the materialistic people are saying, right? This is not the devotees. The Vaishnavas are sighing, oh, these people are not taking to bhakti. And they're hearing these materialists saying, why dance for Krishna? Why chant his names? What is this Sankirtan the Vaishnavas talk about? Speaking these words, the people in general could not understand anything. They desired only money and children. Gathering together, they would mock the Vaishnavas. At night, the four brothers, Srivas, Sriram, Sripati, and Srinidhi, would meet in Srivas's house and loudly sing Lord Hari's holy names. Hearing this, the impious neighbors would declare, that mad Brahmana will ruin our village. When he hears this chanting, the ferocious Muslim king will become wildly angry at the people of Nadia. Someone said, this Brahmana should be driven out of our village. We should tear his house into pieces and send the pieces floating down the river. If this Brahmana is chased away, then our village will be peaceful and prosperous. If he is not chased away, Muslim soldiers will occupy our village. Hearing these words of the impious people, the devotees prayed to Lord Krishna and wept. Hearing these words, Advaita burned with anger. Wearing only the 4 directions for garments, that means no clothes, he said to the Vaishnavas, Srinivas, Gangadas, Shuklambar, please hear me. I will force Lord Krishna to appear before everyone's eyes. Krishna will come here and deliver everyone. He will accept you all as his associates. He will teach the people Krishna Bhakti, devotional service. If I fail to bring him, I will manifest a four-armed form. In my hand, I will hold a chakra. I will cut apart the necks of millions of atheists. In this way, I will prove that Lord Krishna is my master and I am his servant. Again and again, Advaita spoke in this way. Fixed in his decision, he began to worship Lord Krishna's feet. Weeping and their determination fixed, all the devotees also worshipped Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Walking here and there in the town of Navadvip, the devotees never heard any talk of devotional service. The devotees wished to leave their bodies. Calling out Krishna, they sighed and wept. Seeing that the whole world was interested only in material things, they became very unhappy. No longer did they like to place food in their mouths. When the devotees had rejected all material happiness, the Supreme Lord decided to descend to the material world. Ordered by the Supreme Lord, Nityananda, who is the resting place of Anantasesh, descended to this world, taking birth from the womb of Padmavati in the land of Radhadesh, in the village of Ekachakra, on an auspicious Shukla Trayodasi in the month of Magh, January, February. So we observed that day already, Nityananda Trayodasi. Although he is the father of everyone, Lord Nityananda pretended that his father was a devotee named Hadai Pandit, who was the king of the pure Brahmanas. In this way, Lord Balaram, who is an ocean of mercy and the giver of devotional service, descended to this world and assumed the name Nityananda. At that moment, the demigods secretly showered flowers and secretly called out, Jai, Jai. From that day on, the country of Radhadesh grew more and more prosperous and auspicious. Accepting the garments of an Avadut, Lord Nityananda wandered in this world to deliver the fallen souls. That is how Lord Ananta descended to this world. Now please hear how Lord Krishna descended. In Navadvip lived a person named Jagannath Mishra. He was devotedly to duty. He was like Maharaj Vasudev. He was very generous. He stood in the highest pinnacle of Brahminical virtue. No one was his equal. He was exactly like Kashyapa, Dasharath, Vasudev, and Nanda. Kashyapa is the father of Vamandev, Dasharath the father of Lord Ramchandra, Vasudev and Nanda the father of Krishna. So Jagannath Mishra was exactly like Kashyapa, Dasharath, Vasudev and Nanda. His wife was named Sachi. She was very chaste and devoted to her husband. She was Vishnu Bhakti personified. Vishnu Bhakti personified. She was the mother of the entire world. Her many daughters all passed away. Glorious Vishwarup was her only son. Vishwarup's form was handsome like Kamadev. Gazing at him, the Brahmana parents became filled with joy. From his birth, Vishwarup was renounced. When he was only a boy, all the scriptures spontaneously appeared within him. There would be no Vishnu Bhakti anywhere in the material world. That is the future of the Kali Yuga. So this is said in the Shastra. When true religion disappears and when he knows that his devotees suffer, the Supreme Lord descends to this world. Paritranaya sadhunam, right? When true religion disappears, when he knows that his devotees suffer, the Supreme Lord descends to this world. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, entered the bodies of Sachi and Jagannath Mishra. At that moment, Jai Jai appeared in the mouths of Lord Ananta. As if in a dream, Sachi and Jagannath Mishra heard those words. Although at that moment, Their forms shone with great splendor. Other persons could not see it. Aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was about to descend to the material world, Brahma, Shiva, and the other demigods came and recited many prayers. All these descriptions are present, although concealed in the statements of the Vedas. Of this, there is not any doubt. Now, please hear the prayers. Brahma and the other demigods spoke with great devotion. By hearing these confidential prayers, one becomes attracted to Lord Krishna. The demigod said, "Glory, glory to Lord Mahaprabhu, the Father of all. Glory, glory to the Lord, who, to start the Sankirtan movement, has descended to this material world. Glory, glory to the Lord, who is the protector of the Vedas, religion, the devotees, and the Brahmanas. Glory, glory to the Lord, who is time personified, the crusher of the non devotees. Glory, glory to the Lord, whose form is transcendental and eternal. Glory, glory to the Lord, who is the supreme controller of all controllers, and whose every desire is at once fulfilled. You reside in countless millions of universes. Now you are manifest in Sachi's womb. Who can understand your wishes? The creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material universes are only playing for you. If you wish, all the universes will at once be destroyed, will be at once destroyed. Were you not able to kill Kamsa and Ravana simply by speaking a single word? Still, you descended to the homes of Dasharath and Vasudev and you killed all the demons. O Lord, who can understand the reason why you act? Only you have the power to understand your heart. If you give the order, one of your servants can deliver the souls in countless universes. Even so, you personally descend to this world, teach the true religion, and make everyone fortunate. O Lord, in the Satya Yuga, you manifested in a white form, performed austerities, and taught the path of austerities. Accepting the role of a brahmachari, holding a danda and kamandalu, your hair matted and your garments a deerskin, you descended to this world to establish the true religion. In the Treta Yuga, manifesting your form as the handsome reddish Yagya Purush, you taught the religion of Yagyas. The Shruk and Shrava in your hand, you became the Yagyika and personally performed Yagyas. In Dwapara Yuga, manifesting a form dark like a splendid rain cloud, you established the religion of deity worship in home after home. Descending to this world, you became a great king, wearing yellow garments and marked with the Srivatsa and other signs of your true identity. You personally performed deity worship. In Kali Yuga, you manifest the form of a Brahmana with a yellow complexion and you teach the religion of Sankirtan, which is secretly taught by the Vedas. You descend to this world in limitless forms. Who can count them all? Manifesting the form of Matsya, you enjoyed pastimes on the waters of devastation. Manifesting the form of Kurma, you became the resting place of all the living entities. Manifesting the form of Hayagriva. You know why Kurma is the resting place of all living entities? Can anyone tell me how Kurma is the resting place of all living entities? How is Kurma the resting place of all living entities? Kurma is holding this whole universe, right? And so the entire universe is, if you have seen in that Vedic planetarium videos, there you will see there is Kurma, and on top of that is Anantasesh, and on Anantasesh is Lord Vishnu, like that. So Kurma is at the bottom of the universe. So that's why it is said Kurma is the resting place of all living entities. Manifesting the form of Matsya, you enjoyed pastimes on the waters of devastation. Manifesting the form of Kurma, you became the resting place of all the living entities. manifesting the form of Hayagriva. You rescued the Vedas and killed Madhu and Kaitaba, the first two demons, Hayagriva. Manifesting the form of Sri Varaha, you rescued the earth. Manifesting the form of Narasimha, you tore Hiranyakashipu to shreds. Manifesting the wonderful form of Vamana, you cheated Bali. Manifesting the form of Parashuram, you made the earth a place where Kshatriyas no longer lived. Manifesting the form of Ramchandra, you killed Ravana. Manifesting the form of Balaram, you enjoyed limitless pastimes. Manifesting the form of Buddha, you preached the religion of mercy. Manifesting the form of Kalki, you killed the Mlechas. Manifesting the form of Dhanvantari, you gave the gift of nectar. Manifesting the form of Hamsa, you explained the truth to Brahma and others. Hamsa spoke to Brahma and others. Manifesting the form of Narada, you held the veena and sang. Manifesting the form of Vyasa, you explained the truth about yourself. Manifesting the best handsomeness, intelligence, and pastimes, you appeared in your original form, the form of Krishna, and enjoyed pastimes in Gokula. Now, in this incarnation, you will manifest the form of a devotee of the Lord. With all your power, you will preach the Sankirtan movement. The whole world will be filled with Sankirtan. In home after home, Prema Bhakti, loving devotional service will be manifest. How can we describe the bliss that will fill the worlds when meeting with your servants you will dance? By always meditating on your lotus feet, your devotees remove all inauspiciousness from this world. The soles of their feet break the inauspiciousness of this world. Their glances purify the 10 directions. When they raise their arms and dance, the troubles present even in Swargaloka perish. Your servants are like that. Their glory is like that. Their dancing is like that. Something to remember here. When the devotees are dancing, by their feet, all the inauspiciousness of the lower planets is removed. And when they are singing and looking in 4 directions, all the inauspiciousness on the earth in all directions is removed. And when they raise their arms, whatever inauspiciousness is there in the upper planets, Swargalokas, that is removed. This is the glory of the Sankirtan performed by Lord Chaitanya's devotees. In the Padma Purana and Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya 20:68, chapter 20, text 68, it is said, Padbhyam bhumertishotirbhyam dorbhyam chamangalam divaha bahudotsadyate rajan Krishna bhaktasya nityataha. O king, when the devotees of Lord Krishna dance, their steps crush the inauspiciousness of the earth. Their glances destroy the inauspiciousness of the 10 directions, and their raised arms push away the inauspiciousness of the demigods' planets. Okay, the earth. Okay, steps is the earth. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. The demigods are praying to Lord Gauranga in the womb of Sachi Devi. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. Bringing your devotees with you, you have personally come to this world. You will preach the Sankirtan movement and distribute pure love of God, Prema. O Lord, who has the power to describe your glories? You will teach Vishnu Bhakti, devotional service to Lord Vishnu, which is the great secret hidden in the Vedas. Hiding devotional service, you freely give liberation. We desire the gift of devotional service. As the master of the universe, you give the greatest wealth as a gift to others. You do this because you possess all mercy. O Lord, the holy name brings the results of performing all yagyas. Now you have descended to this world in Navadvip. O merciful Lord, please be merciful to us. Please make us fortunate and allow us to see the pastimes you will now enjoy. After some days, you will fulfill Ganga Devi's long cherished desire, for you will enjoy many pastimes in her waters. You, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom the kings of yoga see in the trance of meditation, are now manifested in the town of Navadvip. We offer our respectful obeisances to the town of Navadvip and the home of Sachi and Jagannath, where you descended to this world. In this way, Brahma and the demigods, remaining invisible, daily offered prayers to the Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who resides everywhere in all the worlds, remained in Sachi's womb. Then, when the full moon rose in the month of Falguna, February, March, he openly manifested himself. All auspiciousness that resides in all the limitless universes assembled together to be present on that full moon night. The Lord descended to this world amidst the sounds of Sankirtan. By a trick, the Lord arranged this. In this way, the Lord preached the glories of Sankirtan. Who has the power to understand the Lord's actions? By the Lord's wish, Rahu covered the moon on that night. Seeing the eclipse, all of Navadvip began to chant the auspicious names of Lord Hari. Right? When there is eclipse, what do? People chant, they do all puja and everything, right? Out of fear. Seeing the eclipse, all of Navadvip began to chant the auspicious names of Lord Hari. Limitless millions of people bathed in the Ganga and called out, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. The sound of Lord Hari's name filled Nadia. Then it filled the universe. Even then it could not be contained. Hearing this great wonder, the devotees declared, may this eclipse last forever. Because everyone is chanting Haribol, Haribol. This eclipse should never end. Everyone said, tonight everyone is filled with bliss. I think it must have been like this when Lord Krishna himself appeared in this world. As all the devotees went to bathe in the Ganga, the four directions were filled with the Sankirtan of Lord Hari's holy names. Seeing the eclipse, children, adults, women, saints, sinners, everyone called out, Hari, Hari, Hari Bol were the only sounds anyone could hear. The sound of Lord Hari's name was present everywhere in all the universes. The demigods showered flowers from the four directions. Again and again they beat dundubi drums and called out Jai. As all this occurred, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the life of all the worlds, descended to the earth and became the son of Sachi. A song in Dhanashri Raga. Rahu swallowed the moon. There were great tidal waves in the ocean of the holy names. Kali was defeated and the victory flag flew. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was manifest and the 14 worlds were filled with the sounds of Jai Jai. I'll say that again. Rahu swallowed the moon. There were great tidal waves. So when there is an eclipse, what happens? The tides become very high, right? Rahu swallowed the moon. There were great tidal waves in the ocean. Which ocean? The ocean of the holy names. That means loudly everyone is chanting Hari Hari. Kali was defeated and the victory flag flew. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was manifest and the 14 worlds were filled with the sounds of Jai Jai. Gazing on the moon of Lord Chaitanya, everyone in Nadia is filled with bliss. Now all their sorrows have perished. Dundubi drums were struck. 100 conch shell trumpets were blown. Flutes and buffalo horn bugles are played. Vrindavan Das sings the glories of Sri Chaitanya Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu. Again, Dhanashri Raga. The handsomeness of his limbs defeats the sunshine. My eyes cannot bear. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is seeing and is saying, the handsomeness of his limbs defeats the sunshine. My eyes cannot bear to gaze on him. I cannot speak any metaphors to describe his long, slightly curved eyes. Today, Lord Chaitanya's glories are manifest. Sounds of joy are heard in the four directions of the earth. Each vibration of Lord Hari's names, each vibration of Lord Hari's names fills all the worlds up to Brahmaloka. Now the moon of Lord Chaitanya is manifest. He is splendid like sandal paste. His chest is broad. His forest flower garland swings to and fro. His handsome face is like the cooling moon. His long arms reach to his knees. Gazing at Lord Chaitanya, the fortunate world calls out, Jai, Jai. Some dance, others sing. Kali is defeated. Sorry, Kali is filled with despair. Only pathetic fools cannot understand the truth of Lord Chaitanya, who is the crown on the heads of the four Vedas. Vrindavan Das sings the glories of Sri Chaitanya Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu. So this is like a song, right? So that's why, at the end you get the same line again and again. A song in Patamanjari Raga. The moon of Lord Chaitanya has risen. Now the 10 directions are filled with bliss. His handsome form defeats millions of Kamdevs. He smiles as he hears the chanting of his holy names. I gaze on his charming eyes and face, marked with the signs of a great king. Every heart in this world yearns to gaze on his limbs and on his feet, graceful with the flag and thunderbolt. His glories and opulences make all misfortunes flee far away. Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing of their glories. A song in Natamangala Raga. Hearing that Lord Chaitanya had descended to this world, the demigods felt the presence of great auspiciousness, gazing at the moon of his face, a moon that cools the burning sufferings of material life. They became wild with bliss. Ananta, Brahma, Shiva, and the other demigods have now assumed human forms. On the pretext of the eclipse, they also chant Hari, Hari. I have no power to describe the glories I have seen. The four directions of Nadia are filled with loud sounds of Hari, Hari. Demigods and humans meet and enjoy pastimes. Now Navadvip is flooded with bliss. In Sachi's courtyard, all the demigods offer respectful obeisances. In the blinding darkness of eclipse, no one can see them. These pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are very difficult to understand. Some offered prayers, others held a parasol, others fanned with chamaras, others joyfully showered flowers, others sang, others danced. Lord Chaitanya has come with his devotees. The atheists and offenders do not understand him in any way. Vrindavan Das sings the nectar glories of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu. A song in Mangala Raga, Panchama Raga. The Dundubi and Dindima drums are struck. There are auspicious sounds of Jai. There is the nectar of sweet singing. Today we will meet a very exalted person, a person even the Vedas do not understand. Please don't delay. Who's saying this? All the demigods, right? Let's go, right? They're singing. Today we are going to meet a very exalted person, a person even the Vedas don't know. Please don't delay. In Indrapuri, Lord Indra's city, there is a great tumult of auspicious sounds. Everyone calls out, Hurry, get ready, because of our great good fortune, we will now go to Lord Chaitanya, who has appeared in Navadvip, right? In their universe, the Lord has come, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. They embrace and kiss each other. They have no shame. Wild with joy that the prince of Navadvip had now taken birth, they do not know who they are and who others are. Just anyone they see, they just embrace and they kiss out of bliss. In Navadvip, they hear the blissful sounds of Lord Hari's holy names coming from the four directions. Tasting the nectar of Lord Chaitanya's glories, they become intoxicated. They sing, Chaitanya, Jai, Jai. In Sachi's home, they gaze at handsome Lord Chaitanya, who was glorious like 10 million moons meeting together. Can we imagine that? We cannot. In Sachi's home, they gaze at handsome Lord Chaitanya, who was glorious like 10 million moons meeting together, who had accepted a human like form, and who, manifesting an eclipse, tricked the people into loudly chanting the holy names of Lord Hari. accompanied by all his potencies. The moon of Lord Chaitanya has descended to this world. The atheists and blasphemers cannot understand him. The two moons of Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda are my lords. They are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the nectar of their glories. And thus ends chapter 2. So that's just the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then there is continuation. Maybe we can read the next chapter tomorrow. Or maybe tonight. Well, tonight is your festival at the temple. So I'll probably just continue reading our weekend reading, Chaitanya Bhagavat, the next chapter in the Antya Kanda. So we will be beginning the glories of Advaita Acharya, because all of you won't be there, you'll be at the temple. But tomorrow morning for you, which is Jagannath Mishra's appearance day, which is quite relevant. What we read tomorrow will be quite relevant for you, because that is after the appearance of Mahaprabhu. So that will be Jagannath Mishra's festival, right? For us, tomorrow morning is Gaur Purnima, but we will read that tomorrow, chapter 3. Okay? Thank you all so much. All of you have a blessed Gaur Purnima festival. My best wishes to all of you. May your day and your lives be filled with your devotional service. That's my prayer. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Happy
Hare
Guru.
Krishna,
Thank you very much,
Mataji.
Mataji.